Hello all and welcome back to the channel. Feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. Here we go. In today's story, as we continue our journey with Cammy and Jaymo, it will be first person from Cammy's POV.
I woke up to the sensation of warmth surrounding me. It was as if I was cocooned in a blanket of safety. My eyes fluttered open, adjusting to the soft light that filtered through the leaves overhead. As my senses began to fully awaken, I realized I was lying on a bed of grass, surrounded by a serene forest. My mind was still groggy, memories from before coming back in bits and pieces. I remembered Jaymo, the man who claimed to know me, and the connection I felt with him. But now, something was different. A voice in my head, Mia, seemed to be guiding me through my thoughts and emotions. "Are you awake?" Jaymo's voice pulled me out of my reverie. I turned to see him sitting on a nearby log, his eyes fixed on me with concern. The way he looked at me, it was as if he held the universe in his gaze. "Yeah, I think so," I mumbled, sitting up and taking in the surroundings. "This place is beautiful."
"It's a safe haven," he said softly. "We're deep within the forest, far away from anyone who might want to harm you." I nodded, feeling a sense of gratitude for his protective instincts. "Thank you for helping me." He gave a small smile. "It's what I'm here for." There was a comfortable silence between us, the gentle rustling of leaves and distant chirping of birds creating a soothing symphony. But curiosity gnawed at me, and I couldn't help but ask, "So what exactly are we?" Jaymo's expression turned serious. "We're dragon shifters. We can transform into dragons, but we've been living as humans among society." I absorbed the information, my mind trying to wrap itself around the concept. "Dragons? Like mythical creatures?" He nodded. "Yes, but we're real. We've always been here, hidden from the world." As the reality sunk in, memories began to resurface, and I recalled the sensation of pain and transformation. I remember shifting. It hurt. Jaymo's eyes softened with understanding. "Shifting for the first time can be intense. It's like your entire being is restructuring itself. But now that I've shifted, I feel different. Stronger," I said, trying to put my newfound feelings into words. Jaymo's gaze held mine. "That's because you've embraced your true nature, Cammy. Your dragon self is a part of you, and together, you're more powerful than you can imagine." I looked down at my hands, contemplating everything he was telling me. "And what about us?" I ventured, feeling the connection that went beyond mere words. Jaymo's voice softened. "We're mates. It's a bond that goes beyond love or attraction. It's a soul-deep connection that links us together." As he spoke, I felt a rush of emotions coursing through me. It wasn't just the words he said, but the way he looked at me, the way he made me feel seen and understood. "Mia told me that the feelings I have when you touch us, it's because you love us." Jaymo's eyes seemed to hold a universe of emotions. "Yes, Cammy, I've loved you for as long as I can remember, even before you fully awakened. Our souls are intertwined." Tears welled up in my eyes, and I couldn't contain the overwhelming surge of emotions. It was as if a dam had burst, and all the feelings I had suppressed came rushing to the surface. Jaymo moved closer, wrapping his arms around me, and I buried my face in his chest, letting the tears flow. "You don't have to hold back, Cammy," he whispered, his voice soothing. "You're safe now. We're in this together." And for the first time in a long while, I felt truly safe. Safe in the arms of the man who was not just a familiar face, but a soul that had been intertwined with mine throughout time. As the wind rustled through the leaves and the sun cast a warm glow around us, I knew that this was just the beginning of a journey filled with magic, discovery, and a love that transcended boundaries. The sun began to set, casting a warm golden glow over the tranquil forest. Jaymo and I sat on the grass, our fingers intertwined, as we watched the colors of the sky blend and change. It felt like a new beginning, a fresh chapter in our lives. "I never imagined that my life would take such a turn," I said, my voice filled with a mix of wonder and excitement. Jaymo squeezed my hand gently. "Life has a funny way of surprising us, doesn't it?" I leaned against his shoulder, feeling his steady presence by my side. "It does indeed, but I'm grateful for this journey, for finding you." He placed a soft kiss on the top of my head. "And I'm grateful for you, Cammy. You've brought light and purpose into my life."
We sat in silence for a while, simply enjoying each other's company and the serenity of the forest. It was a moment of respite, a chance to catch our breaths before the next chapter of our adventure unfolded. As darkness settled in, Jaymo stood up and offered me his hand. "Shall we go back to our sanctuary?" he asked, referring to the hidden dwelling where we had sought refuge. I nodded, a smile playing on my lips. Together, we walked hand in hand through the forest, our steps guided by an unspoken understanding. The path back to our sanctuary was familiar now, etched into our memories. When we reached the clearing, a cozy cabin stood before us, blending seamlessly with nature. It was our sanctuary, our haven away from the chaos of the outside world. Jaymo held the door open for me, and we stepped inside, greeted by the warm glow of candlelight and the crackling sound of a fireplace. The cabin was simple yet inviting, adorned with natural elements and hints of dragon symbolism. It felt like our own little piece of paradise, a place where we could be ourselves without fear or judgment. Jaymo guided me to a comfortable couch by the fireplace, and we settled in, enveloped by its warmth. "Are you hungry?" he asked, his eyes filled with concern. I chuckled softly. "I don't think I've thought about food since everything happened." He smiled, his eyes crinkling at the corners. "I understand. But it's important to take care of ourselves, especially now that we're embracing our true nature." With that, Jaymo disappeared into the cabin's small kitchen, returning moments later with a tray of fruits, cheese, and bread. He placed it on the coffee table in front of us, and we shared a quiet meal, savoring each bite and relishing in the simple pleasure of nourishment. As we ate, we talked about our past, about the memories that were slowly coming back to me. Jaymo shared stories about our childhood, about the adventures we had together as dragon shifters, and about the bond between us that had always been there, even if I couldn't remember it. The more we talked, the more the pieces of my past fell into place. I began to recall snippets of our dragon forms, of soaring through the sky and feeling the wind beneath our wings. It was a feeling of freedom and power that I couldn't quite put into words. "I can't wait to shift again," I said, a spark of excitement in my eyes. Jaymo grinned, his eyes lighting up with anticipation. "Soon, Cammy. Soon, we'll embrace our dragon selves once more and experience the true extent of our abilities." As the night wore on, we found ourselves drawn to the fireplace, its flames dancing and casting shadows on the walls. We sat on a plush rug in front of the hearth, our bodies entwined, and talked late into the night. We spoke of our hopes and dreams, of the challenges that lay ahead, and of the love that had blossomed between us. It was a deep, soulful connection that transcended the boundaries of time and space. We were bound by destiny, by a shared purpose that was larger than ourselves. As the fire crackled and the embers glowed, we knew that our journey was far from over. There were still mysteries to unravel, dangers to face, and a destiny to fulfill. But with each other by our sides, we were ready to face whatever lay ahead, knowing that our love and the power of our dragon selves would guide us through. We leaned into each other, our hearts beating in sync, and drifted off to sleep, knowing that tomorrow would bring new challenges and adventures. But for now, in the safety of our sanctuary, we found solace and peace, wrapped in the embrace of love and the promise of a future filled with magic and wonder. The morning sun streamed through the cabin's windows, gently nudging us awake from our peaceful slumber. I blinked my eyes open, greeted by the soft, golden light that bathed the room. Jaymo was still fast asleep beside me, his features relaxed and serene. I smiled, feeling a surge of contentment wash over me. The events of the previous day seemed almost dreamlike, yet the sensations, the memories, and the connection between Jaymo and me were undeniably real. Careful not to disturb him, I slipped out of bed, relishing in the feeling of the plush rug beneath my feet as I padded across the room. I made my way to the window and peered outside. The forest stretched before me, a canvas of vibrant greens and gentle whispers of wind. The call of the wild beckoned, and I knew I needed a moment to center myself, to embrace the tranquility of nature. With a soft exhale, I stepped outside onto the cabin's porch. The air was crisp, carrying the earthy scents of the forest. Closing my eyes, I focused on my breathing, letting the sounds of rustling leaves and distant bird calls envelop me. It was a grounding ritual, a way to connect with the world around me and find a sense of balance. Enjoying the view? Jaymo's voice, warm and inviting, reached me from behind. I turned to find him leaning against the cabin's doorway, his gaze fixed on me. His presence was a comfort, a reminder that I wasn't alone on this journey. "Definitely," I replied with a soft smile. "There's something incredibly peaceful about this place." He stepped onto the porch, joining me at the railing. "It's our sanctuary, a place where we can find solace amidst the chaos." I leaned against the railing, our shoulders touching. "And where we can learn about our true selves." He nodded, his expression thoughtful. "Speaking of which, I thought today we could focus on further developing our elemental abilities." I glanced at him, a spark of excitement igniting within me. "I'm ready." As the day unfolded, Jaymo guided me through various exercises designed to harness the elemental energies that coursed through our dragon selves. We stood in a clearing, surrounded by trees, as he instructed me to connect with the elements around me. "Feel the earth beneath your feet," he said, his voice soothing. "Visualize your energy intertwining with the earth's energy." Closing my eyes, I followed his guidance, imagining roots extending from my body, sinking into the ground. The sensation was grounding, and I could sense the pulse of the earth's energy resonating with my own. "Now, focus on the air," Jaymo continued. "Feel the gentle breeze against your skin, the way it caresses you." I allowed my awareness to expand, feeling the subtle currents of air brushing against my skin. With Jaymo's encouragement, I concentrated on gathering the air's energy, letting it flow through me like a gentle stream. We moved through each element, water, fire, and air, each exercise leaving me more attuned to the world around me and the power within me. It was a dance of energies, a harmonious connection that left me exhilarated and in awe of the natural forces that surrounded us. As the sun began to descend in the sky, casting a warm glow across the clearing, we returned to the cabin. The sense of a hearty stew greeted us as we stepped inside, and Jaymo had prepared dinner for us once again. We sat at the dining table, the flickering candlelight casting a soft ambiance. As we ate, we shared stories of our experiences throughout the day. Jaymo spoke of his own journey as a dragon shifter, of the challenges he had faced, and the discoveries he had made. "Each day is a step forward," he said, his gaze locked onto mine. "We're unlocking our potential, embracing our destiny." I nodded, feeling a sense of purpose blossoming within me. "And we're doing it together." After dinner, we found ourselves drawn to the fireplace once more. The flames danced, casting playful shadows on the walls as we settled on the rug in front of the hearth. Jaymo reached for a book from one of the shelves, its pages filled with ancient dragon myths and tales. "Dragons have always been a source of wonder and fascination," he said, flipping through the pages. "They embody strength, wisdom, and transformation." I nestled against him, the warmth of the fire enveloping us. "And now, we're living those qualities." He nodded, his fingers tracing gentle patterns on my arm. "Indeed, we're on a path of transformation, of discovering the depths of our power and the purpose that has always been within us." As I listened to the stories of dragons from different cultures, it struck me how closely our experiences mirrored those ancient tales. We were writing our own story, one filled with magic, love, and the courage to face the unknown. As the night deepened, our conversation shifted to more personal matters. We spoke of our dreams, our fears, and the connection that had blossomed between us. It was a conversation that deepened our bond, that allowed us to truly understand each other's hopes and aspirations. And as the fire crackled and the embers glowed, we knew that our journey was far from over. The challenges ahead were vast, the mysteries still waiting to be unraveled. But we were ready to embrace the magic, to face the unknown, and to do it all side by side. As our voices quieted and a comfortable silence settled over us, I realized that the world was filled with endless possibilities. With Jaymo by my side, I was ready to explore each one, to navigate the twists and turns of our destiny, and to create a story that was uniquely ours.
Thank you for being here. That was all for today. If you liked this story or any of the stories, feel free to like, share, and/or subscribe. See y'all in the next one.